man's got fire and a wild hot take. Andrew's stats make the whole place shake. Laughing loud when your team goes down. Straub boys run this sports town. Show! Sundays, Mondays, we live for the fight. College game day and Thursday night. Rivals fall and the banter flies. We bleed our teams till the day we die. S-T-R-A-U-E, two loud mouths and a love for the league. From Cleveland roots to the world we go. This is the Straub Bro Sports Show. Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Straub Bro Sports Show. Big bro Ken rocking with you with little bro as always. And bro, I just talked to you, but I'll ask you anyways. How we doing this week?
We are doing great. I got a short week this week, so I am off today after today. But regardless, I'm angry about sports and I'm ready to talk about it, no matter how happy I may be in the outside life.
You just got added to my rant list.
That's fine.
Ain't in no mood for you to be off all week. All right, no. Hey.
Oh,
listen, for me, one day is a lot, okay? Shout out to my guy, Raj, who's still recovering. Raj, we miss you because we cannot do the work part. It'll just derail the whole thing. But yes, welcome into the Thursday episode of the Straub Bro Sports Show, your preview for the weekend. But before we preview, we have one more thing to review. First on our eyes on the show, but obviously, if you're rocking on your college football side, you already know about it. And Drew, we're going to start with the rankings because I'm pissed.
Yeah, I'm sure.
If you missed it on Tuesday, because ESPN and YouTube TV are still arguing with each other, not that affects me in any way. I got plenty to. You're just
angry today.
I am today. I'm not even gonna lie. I want all the smoke. We did not have a lot of changes in the top. What's going on, Bobby Clips? What's happening? We didn't have a lot of change at the top. 1, 2, 3, and 4 are unchanged. And Drew, that's what I'm upset about. But we'll get to that in a little bit. So, number 1, Ohio State. Number 2, Indiana. Number 3, Texas A&M. Number 4, Alabama. Those are your first 4. Those are your first round buys. Then we get to the rest of everybody else. Coming in at number 5, Georgia. Number 6, Texas Tech. Number 7, Ole Miss. Number 8, Oregon. Number 9, Notre Dame. Number 10, Texas. Number 11, Miami. And number 12, South Florida. So, Drew, you want to start with the unchanged at the top, or you want to start with the newcomers at the bottom?
Let's start with the top 4, because I think obviously there's a lot of debate in 6 through 12. There's not debate in who should be top 4, but in terms of where they are, and we talked about this on Tuesday, it seems like the committee, which is unlike the committee, I should say, is not giving, I think, A&M credit, and I think you agree with me here, for having, I would say, better wins than definitely Indiana and then arguably Ohio State. I want you to get on this because you were the big promoter of this on Tuesday.
Am I going full box? We pulling the graphic down?
If it's going to be 2 minutes, sure, but if it's a 30-second, let's...
All right, so here's my problem. This is what we talked about. Now, I want you to pretend, if you listened on Tuesday, that you didn't, because this has nothing to do with Ohio State's schedule, okay? I know they have to play who's in front of them. I got you, okay? But listen to me. This is the problem. All of these results up until last week's college football playoff rankings, the opening one, they mattered, but the rankings didn't. It did not matter. You had teams like Iowa that weren't ranked. You had teams like Cincinnati that were and then became unranked. It didn't matter. What the committee said goes. My biggest issue is, and I will never not have an issue with this. The committee tells us that it is a fluid ranking every week, that they go in and they take all of the teams and they put them in their groups and they go from there. If that's the case, then that means when you get to that top tier, which was clearly Ohio State, Texas A&M, Indiana, Alabama, and I would maybe say Georgia, but I'm not going to 100. But let's say it's just those four. Okay. When you show me what everybody did last week, I was okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, OSU, Indiana, Texas A&M, Alabama. We get into the next week. Ohio State does what Ohio State does, and that's fine. Indiana struggles. Texas A&M blows out a ranked team. The disconnect is there for you to tell me when you go into that meeting room the next week that everyone is still in the same spot. That's not possible based on the criteria that the committee has given me. And trust me, because this is what I do, I have done nothing but pay attention to what the committee's criteria is. And even though I can't watch the damn rankings, I go back through and watch them illegally. Don't tell nobody I said that.
I think you're right. And I think the way that I look at it is Texas A&M and Indiana have had 2 games apiece that are very similar to each other. Texas A&M with their close win over Notre Dame, Indiana with their close win over Oregon. And then Indiana with their close win over Penn State, A&M with their close win over Arkansas. Both are close wins, one against a team that some say are better, some say are worse, whatever. And then there's a close win against a team that they should have beaten by more. And so you can put those 2 and say, these are the same. So let's look at the rest of the resume. And I think what they're looking at is Indiana's win over Illinois, the stomping, who is Illinois now 6-3, 3-3 in the Big Ten, but at the time was number 9 in the country. A&M's wins and claims to fame are their wins over Missouri and their wins over LSU. So I talked to you already. I talked about you already.
Okay, first of all, what's happening? Welcome in. Go ahead.
But what I'm saying is that what the committee's saying here is the win over Illinois for Indiana, the 63-10 win, is a better result than A&M's handed, not beat down, but handed wins over LSU and Missouri. And I disagree with that, and you disagree with that, but that's what the committee's telling us.
You know what my problem is? Here's what I would be arguing. First of all, I need in the committee. I'm just let me sit outside.
Notre Dame would be top 4 every year. I don't.
That's not true.
Okay.
But let me just sit outside and yell things under the door. Here's what I would be yelling when they got to that last group. Hey, let me know who in that top 4 has a win over anyone else in the college football playoffs.
That's very fair.
Ohio State does, which is why they're okay with me being at 1. Texas A&M has 1. And so does Alabama. Indiana does not. Indiana does not. So, and shout out to you, Bryson. Yeah. So
no, I get what you're saying. That's what I'm hearing now is that you put those 2 games against each other. They're very similar. You look at the rest of the resume. They're saying Indiana's win and wins are more impactful and look better than A&M's wins.
I'll agree to disagree. That's fine. Now let's get to the bottom half. Texas, Miami, and South Florida. I'll try not to do it this week, but I can't promise. Let's start with the first 2. Texas and Miami. Number 1, I guess we shouldn't say we're surprised because the committee told us they like Texas. So we can't be surprised that Texas moved up into that spot after those teams lost. Miami, though.
So here's what I looked at, right? Well, one, Miami technically is 15. They're just the ACC input here,
Yes.
right? So I want to make that kind of known. But if we're talking about, again, we're talking about, how the record looks and who they played against. OU has beat a Michigan team, but then lost to Texas and lost to Alabama. BYU, their only test, they just lost. We talked about it. Utah really hasn't. They lost to BYU, and they haven't really played anybody since to convince him. And Vandy, who is now lost to Alabama and lost to Texas. And so if we're talking about people around Miami that maybe deserve to be in there, the only other team that has, a better win rate is Georgia Tech and BYU. And both teams, we've said multiple times on this show, are kind of fraudulent in our eyes right now until they get a key win. So I don't mind Miami being in there, especially because that's just a placeholder for the ACC champion.
100%. Whoever wins the ACC, and the ACC, I'm going to let you know right now, you're getting one bid.
One.
That is
Unless you have a Miami win it and a Georgia Tech only other losses to Miami, that's the only time I could maybe consider it.
Dog.
But other than that, it's just the one.
Dog. Brody, Broski, Teddy Roosevelt.
It is a hypothetical scenario in which I'm saying maybe, not even a guarantee.
Listen, I got you.
Because that Georgia Tech team plays Georgia at the end of the season. So that's what I'm saying. If the only loss was to Miami.
No, I got you. Sorry. Also distracted. Let's get to South Florida.
Throw it to me.
If we don't want this show to just turn into me, just
throw it to me.
Although I was happy with South Florida because they do. Now here's the. Actually, I'm going to.
Thank you. I'm going to put this out there. One, just going to put it out there, rip off the Band-Aid. We're getting a group of 5 team in here. We're not going to complain about it every week. I'm sorry.
Yes, I am.
No, we're not. Because you know what? I stopped talking about Florida State 2 years ago when they weren't let in. I stopped talking about it. We're done. We're moving on. It's a guarantee. They're going to be in there. 2, other than obviously the Miami game and then the slip up against Memphis, they have looked dominant in every single game they have played in. 34-7 over Boise State, 63-14 over some randos, 54-26 in conference, 63-36 in conference, 48-13 in conference, 55-23 in conference. The offense is there. They have slip up against Memphis, yes, absolutely, and the Miami loss doesn't look great. I will 100% give you that. But if we're talking a team that 9 times out of 10 comes to play and legit can give a good performance, I don't mind this team being in there if we're choosing between a group of 5 team. In the current state of the CFP. And that is what we're talking about. And we're not talking about hypotheticals if they weren't in there.
I got you. Fine. I will say this at least. They at least have something on their resume. And you took my point. They at least have something on their resume that at least allows me to go, okay, Memphis didn't have that. Okay, period. End of story. I don't care. Memphis.
It was just the record.
That.
Yeah.
Right. South Florida at least has something that makes me go, okay, on a given day when that dual threat quarterback is dual threatening it up and he's at his highest, they can go out there and upset a team. Georgia, no shot. But
I will say also, by the way, if we're looking at maybe one other team that could replace South Florida depending on what happens, James Madison is 8-1, and the only loss is 28-14 to Louisville.
And I picked them to upset that week. And here, from a betting perspective, because we do a little bit of that here on the Straub Sports Show.
What?
When I see a team playing James Madison, I'm like, let me back off that spread. Let me be careful because it's a talented team. The team of former Indiana coach Kurt Zanetti.
And I will say, they play a 6-3 Coastal Carolina team at the end of the year, which would definitely boost their resume a little bit because it's in conference. And they're playing, if they go to their conference championship, would play a current 7-2 Southern Mississippi team, which would, again, I think boost their record in terms of they're not playing a 500 team. And so if I'm being honest, if both these teams win out, I would give South Florida the edge in terms of wins and the conference strength. However, James Madison, if you can come to the table and say, listen, we've had one loss, and it was a game, and it was a game against a Power 5 team. It was a game. South Florida can't say that. The only Power 5 team, I shouldn't say the only, but the Power 5 team that's in the college football playoff that we played, we got blown out. So
who were those first 2 wins against again?
Against Boise State and then against Florida, which is very hit or miss.
I mean, it's not hit or miss. It's miss. That Florida win means nothing right now, unfortunately. And the Boise State win doesn't do great. Teaser. I got a little something on Boise State later, but we'll get to that. All right. Are you good? Actually, here, just real quick to wrap
up with the rest of the
but we'll wrap it up.
Honest.
Ole Miss, stay put. Oregon moved up 1. Notre Dame moved up 1 as well. So did Texas Tech. I have no issues there. Everybody won. Everybody can keep rolling. What's going on, Ray? My man Ray Mordowski in the building. What's popping, Brody? I don't have a problem with that. I mean, a big test for Notre Dame, some other teams this week. We'll talk about those. But yes, right here, right now, I am good on with the college football playoff. I'm tinkering a little bit. I'm complaining because I want one team a little bit higher. But I mean, ultimately, all I would be doing is flipping A&M and Indiana, although that would be kind of fun if we got an SEC matchup there. But that's a different story. Go ahead.
And as a final remark, in my opinion, there is no team outside of this that is truly like, we deserve to be in this. If a group of 5 team is, we got screwed. Nobody outside of this has really proven to me that they deserve to be in here. And so that's why I'm also not harping on it too bad, because listen, BYU had a shot, they lost it. Oklahoma had a shot, they lost it. Utah had multiple shots, they lost them. Vandy, same thing. So I can't say that like right now there is a team that is getting screwed by not being in here, because they've lost the games that would have proven that they should be in here.
I agree with you. And boy, you are learning, because that's what we call in the business transition. Speaking of the rest of everyone else, listen, I'm not perfect, and I was up very late doing graphics, and we're not going to get into that today, but I messed up there. Number 14, Vanderbilt. They are not supposed to be highlighted. But now we've hit that top 10. Let's keep it rolling. Or actually, I should say, my apologies. Let's talk about who they're actually playing. Ohio State takes on UCLA this week. Cool. Thanks a lot. Indiana takes on Wisconsin, which I know Drew just wants to go so he can do his whole Luke Fickell thing again, as he does weekly, about as often as I complain about these bad teams in the college football playoffs. But Wisconsin coming off an upset last week, we'll see. But I don't. Right, it's almost about how much from Indiana more than it's going to be anything about Wisconsin. Texas A&M. We got to talk about it real quick. They play South Carolina.
I get it.
I'm
listening to you. I'm fully listening to you.
I was also looking for my water that I can't find. I'm saying is, we've seen this South Carolina team do this late in the year, turn it up for a game, upset somebody. However, they're on the road at Texas A&M, so I think Texas A&M is just trying to prove to the committee, no, we are him. So that's that one. You got anything more?
No, I think A&M is a very different team than, I would say, the Alabama team that only won by 7. The offense is just absolutely just too overbearing. I don't think so. And South Carolina's defense is not that good.
All right, let's run through a couple of these before we actually get to the games, and I mean the rankings. So after that top 10, Oklahoma comes in at 11. BYU drops 5 spots to 12 on the outside looking in now. Utah sitting hold at 13. Vanderbilt up a couple to 14. We talked about Miami. That gold spot should be there. Georgia Tech still very much in play at 16. USC and Michigan 17 and 18. Some Big Ten teams trying to look on the very outside on the last turn to try to get in. Virginia, huge dive. We knew that was coming. Along with Louisville, both teams 5 spots down to 19 and 20. Iowa only losing 1 spot, which I'm okay with. I mean, they played decent against a team that's in the college football playoffs, but not
lost by
So, but the reason this is here is for one thing and one thing only. Everybody, Pittsburgh up 2 spots at 22. The Tennessee Volunteers, like you said, continue to move up by doing nothing. Your UCF Bulls,
I can't complain.
Your UCF Bulls in at number 24, but at number 25. You're back, and you're in the one that counts, Brody. As I took you off the screen, I took you off the screen instead of the graphic. That's how we do it now. Brody, you're back in the top 25. You're in the one that counts. Come on, give it to me.
No, and that's why I can't rag on Tennessee too hard, because Tennessee, Pittsburgh, and us either moved up or got into the rankings after doing nothing. So I can't be that harsh on Tennessee, even though I just don't think they should be in to begin with. But anyways, no, it feels good. I mean, I was surprised because typically after a loss and then a bye, there's not a move up. Typically, it's usually a win and then a bye, and then you can move up some more. But I appreciate it. However, I like we talked about when the first CFP rankings came out, that's a prove it ranking. That is a, hey, we're giving you this spot because you have games where you can prove you belong here coming up. Show us that. And so that's what we've kind of as a collective have kind of seen or taken as what that ranking means. But still good to be there.
Let's get Lucky back in the camera. I'm going to have to go get my water at some point, but we'll figure out a commercial break when it's time. Hey, listen, I'm just happy you're good and you're in. You deserve to be in there. However, and you also have a chance. You win out, you're good to go. And then what I like to see is my top 25 from the CFP down basically should be teams that if you win, you're in.
Agreed.
We shouldn't have to be chasing teams like this to see who's actually good. But hey, what can you do? I'm also going to gamble right now, and I'm going to turn my Wi-Fi off because I didn't realize it was on while I'm plugged in. So everybody pray for me as we get ready. You never know sometimes with StreamYard. But also, so that means now that that's out of the way, it's time to talk about your Straub Sneaky Saturdays. These are the games that I feel you have to keep an eye on. And I'm not going to lie, more than my bets, more than your QB watch, these games right here, we have nailed week in, week out as games that you have got to keep an eye on. No, they're not ranked games, but they're just as important. Let's start tomorrow. And that's one of the biggest reasons this game is on the slate for me, because every single time one of these top teams has to go play at a weird time or play on a different day, weird stuff happens. Minnesota heads to Eugene to take on number 8 Oregon Friday, 9 p.m. on Fox. I can watch that one without having to log in or buy this ESPN thing I'm probably going to have to buy this weekend. But Drew, any chance after last week's shaky-ish performance against against Iowa that Oregon could slip up here against Minnesota?
I think there's a less than zero chance here. One, because like you said, Friday, 9 p.m., weird time, under the lights, no pressure on Minnesota, all the pressure on Oregon, because with USC and Michigan kind of breathing down their necks for that final spot. But also, Oregon, like you said, the close win against Iowa last week, the week before, only winning 21-7 over Wisconsin, which, like we have said, has not looked good this year. And if you go over to the Minnesota side, dominant win over Nebraska, and then an overtime win against Michigan State last week. They've had some blowout losses, and the offense hasn't been there sometimes. However, definitely a Minnesota team that is different from previous years and can get up for a game at certain times. So Do I still think Oregon comes away with this one? Maybe close again? Yes. But I do think that this is definitely a closer game than what reads kind of on the graphic.
That was my phone. So
you were just completely enamored by my take, and I appreciate that.
You know what? You absolutely right. It was the best take ever. I mean, Minnesota's, like you said, they're injured, they're beat up. But Friday, weird start. Guys are used to having to kind of go through a walkthrough on Friday. Now they got to push that to Thursday and get in. Listen, weird things can happen. Let's move on. We get into Saturday. We hit noon on ESPN2. Number 24, South Florida, in your first set of action. When now you're in this college football playoff running, they travel to Indianapolis to take on Navy, fresh now off a whooping from Notre Dame. Drew, the reason I like this one here, the first time that South Florida came into the top 25 after they had upset two teams, they got whooped by Miami. South Florida, you got one shot. Do not slip up. So from this point forward, your games stay here as long as you keep winning, because every game from this point forward for South Florida is a college football playoff game.
Hey, and I just propped them up. I talked about 90% of their games, they're putting up 40, 50 plus points. Their offense looks great. Don't do it. It's the same thing I told you last week.
Don't do it.
Don't you make this a close game against an academy, because you will suffer. South Florida has the offense similar to North Texas, and USF beat North Texas, who beat Navy. So by the rule, that this should be a win for them, just based on the transitive properties here, boys. We're getting scientific here. But
it's why we employ an aerospace engineer on the Straub Sports Show.
But you never know. And so do not take this game lightly, because that's one team, like I say every year, one team does it every year. They slip up, they underestimate Navy, they think they're just going to roll with their offense and do what they do, and they lose. Don't do it, because then you give James Madison the easiest walkthrough in the world to make it to the CFP.
Yes. Every time one of these non-Power 5 conference teams loses, we're just flipping a coin at that point going, you get a shot, and now you can have a chance. As long as you continue to win, and as long as you can focus on what's ahead of you and the prize at the end here, you'll be okay. But until then, we have to see. Drew, you done made the graphic, boy.
No, the last time I made the graphic, I got my butt whooped.
No, the last time you made the big graphic, you got your butt whooped.
That's true. Sneaky Watchables, I won.
Sneaky Watchables, you won. And I mean, you talked about it. Here is your opportunity to play in some bigger games down the stretch and prove it. You got one right off the bat. One of my favorite teams to put some dollars and change on. Arizona travels to Nippert at noon, because my poor guy can't get anything past the 2:00 kickoff. On FS1, another one I can watch. Arizona takes on number 25 Cincinnati. Drew, break it down. Give it to me. How do your Bearcats survive?
I think this is the game that's truly going to either get me all in for the rest of the season, or make it so I will just be tuning into basketball games until the bowl game, because I'll watch the bowl game. But this is an Arizona team that, if they beat BYU in double overtime and they come back against Houston and beat Houston, this is a 8-1 Arizona team. They are 6-3 by 7 points. This is a good Arizona team. This is an Arizona team that could put up some points. They put up 52 against Colorado, 41 against Oklahoma State, but they have stumbled before. This Kansas defense was really bad, and they only put up 24 and barely beat Kansas. Like I said, they lost to Houston and BYU. They are beatable, and they can be slowed down. However, this is solely on Scott Satterfield getting these boys up and motivated and telling them this season isn't far from over. You still control your own destiny. You're not USC. You're not Michigan. You don't need results to go your way to have a chance. You win out, you're in. And if that message is relayed accurately and these guys are motivated, they're at home. Nippert is a very fun place to play when they're at home and they're rolling.
Drink at too, huh?
Absolutely. I know that more than you do. If that's the case, I like these guys. But if they come out flat, they come out unmotivated, they look still beat up from the Utah loss, then that is a team like previous years, like last year where we lost 5 in a row. And then the year before where we barely won any conference games, where the snowball effect starts to go and this team can't get back up for games. They did it after the Nebraska game this year. Can they do it against Utah?
We make fun of you only having noon kickoffs and like 2 p.m. kickoffs. I like this for you because I think you're back in your familiar state. I worry though down the stretch if you have a chance, and all of a sudden this team that's been playing at noon and 2 o'clock every Saturday, all of a sudden's got to sit around for an 8 p.m. kickoff. Like that
happened last week.
I know that can happen, and it doesn't always come out great. But hey, I have faith in you. I like the over, but I have faith in you.
Let's go. Slam the over. I don't even know what it is, but it could be 70, and I tell you to slam the over.
99% sure it's 54.5, but I was checking.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think we've missed an over since the UCF game, which was like 4 or 5 games ago.
The one I bet on, jerk. But that's cool. Whatever.
It's a rivalry game. I don't know what you expected.
Moving on. So we've got Friday at 9. We've got 2 noon kickoffs all the way late on ESPN at 10:15. Shout out for the late start there. TCU takes on number 12 BYU. Revenge. That's what BYU was looking for. We took a fat L last week, got completely knocked out of the playoffs. They're coming for somebody. And it's TCU that's on the menu. Look out.
This is the bounce back game that BYU needs. They're at home. This TCU team, while 6-3, similar to Arizona, have had much worse losses. They lost to Iowa State. They got blown out by Kansas State earlier in the year. But they do have wins over a Baylor and a West Virginia team that at the time was starting to try to gain momentum. So don't take this TCU team lightly. But this is the game for BYU to come back and say, no, that was a blip. We are for real. We're going to keep going. And they have to, because if you even put up a semi-okay performance, even if you sneak away with a win, this is telling the committee, oh, okay, this is their level. They're not CFP level. And that's you can't have that this late in the season.
These are all prove-it games at this point for BYU, almost the same way we talked about South Florida. BYU, you didn't completely lay an egg, and the committee gave you the benefit of the doubt, and they put you in there. Then you went out and just got smacked. You go out and get smacked, that 12 is going to turn into like 23 real quick, and you're going to be fading out.
Even in like a less than 10-point win, I think they drop if they don't win by more than 10. Because listen, you have Utah, Vandy, Miami, all these guys behind you that if they have a better win than you, I would not be surprised seeing them drop even further.
We shall see. So, those are your Straub Sneaky Saturday. Drew, let's get to the heavyweight battles, and I'm happy about this. It took more work on the graphic. We got 4. We got 4 big ones this week. It's time for Straub Bros Big Saturday, and I got to go first. We'll derail the whole thing right now. At noon on ABC, in which I will probably be buying this stupid ESPN thing because I'm not missing my game, Notre Dame travels to wherever the Steelers play to take on number 22 Pitt because they don't even have their own stadium. Oh, yeah, it's starting right now. Noon on ABC, number 9 Notre Dame at 22 Pitt. Drew, I have been nervous for weeks. You have laughed at me about it. Is there a problem now that I ain't nervous and I got a ranked team on the schedule?
Well, first, it's Acrisure Stadium, by the way. Is the old Heinz Field. Just putting out there. I would say maybe. Because if we're being honest, if we're looking at this Pitt team, right? Obviously, I think in terms of teams you have played and played close and played well, there's definitely better teams this season for you. That listen, A&M, I know, like I said, both your losses were at the time top 10 teams. And the rest of the way, you have looked very, very good, minus a slow start in like one or two of them. But you pulled through. Well, the only issue is this Pitt team has gotten better week after week. After the back-to-back losses from West Virginia and Louisville, they switched over to a freshman quarterback. They have not lost since. Granted, they have not played anybody really. It's Stanford, NC State, Syracuse, Florida State, Boston College. I wouldn't say there's anything there to really write home about. However, they have looked very, very good going offensively. And so I wouldn't say don't let this get into a shootout, because I think even in a shootout, I think you can come out on top. However, don't underestimate this Pitt team. This Pitt team is hungry. They're young. They're going to just throw everything out there because they know that one loss and they're out of it. And so they're going to throw everything at you just to try to shake it up a little bit. Play your game. Be safe with it. Don't underestimate them, and you should walk away fine. But don't take them lightly. I'm ignoring that because I need some actual, analysis here from you.
Run the football, play good defense, allow your freshman quarterback to make the plays that we know he can make and that he is starting to make more of. It will be all right. Here's why I am a little bit cocky for once. And if you're brand new to the show, you're probably like, "Oh, damn, we got another cocky Notre Dame fan." No.
No, it's normally not. Normally not. I'll back you on that.
All right, that ain't true. However, Pitt's coach been chirping, talking about we could put 100 on them and they don't care because the last two games are the only one that mattered. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, we finna put 100 on you then. Play with us. Listen, I'm gonna tell you. Call me out and tell me I'm wrong, Drew. There are very few coaches that I want to give bulletin board material to less than Marcus Freeman. I may want to give Kirby Smart more bulletin board material than I do Marcus Freeman.
No,
because if you don't think for a second that quote ain't sitting up somewhere in the facility locker room, man, please.
And I agree with you because of one major reason. Because listen, that statement could have been told to any coach in college football, and it would have been on a bulletin board somewhere. But most coaches are going to get angry and are going to get fired up and not focus on discipline. Like, let's say, Miami in the past couple years, where they get angry and they start making bad plays because they're in their own heads and they're letting the other team get to them. Marcus Freeman would never allow that. He's going to tell those boys to put 100 on them, but one mistake and he's reaming them and he's making sure, no, you have to stay disciplined because that's how we win by 100. Listen, I've seen it. I've seen it with you. I saw it when he was with me. It's a coach that gets the boys motivated, but keeps them locked in, laser focused. And that's exactly what you need from a coach when that kind of stuff gets put into a locker room.
I'll be nervous tomorrow. I'll be nervous because then I'm going to have to see Nate at work. I'm going to have to see Cuz, who ain't in the comments yet. And he's going to be like, "Hey, well, you ready?" And now I'm going to get nervous. And I'll be nervous come game time too. But for right now, I want the smoke. All right, bring me that Pitt. And the last time I was there, they beat us to watch a Notre Dame Pitt game. Come on, boys. Go disrespect.
New coach, new attitude.
Absolutely. Boom. Now, let's go over to 3:30 on ABC. We got us a beautiful SEC matchup and an absolute eliminator if you are Oklahoma. Number 11, Oklahoma, travels to Alabama to take on the Crimson Tide at 3:30 on ABC. Drew, short, sweet, to the point. Oklahoma got a chance in hell?
Yeah. I think Alabama is better than Tennessee. They're better than Vandy. They're better than Mizzou. And I grouped those all together because those are the three teams that Alabama played and basically had the exact same scoreline against because they put it down. Oklahoma's going to give them a game. Oklahoma's got a better offense. They got a better defense than most of those teams. I would say Oklahoma, I wouldn't say is playing for nothing because I think they still control their own destiny. However, I think Alabama has been consistently playing games against teams that are throwing caution to the wind and handle it so professionally. It's hard for me to see an Oklahoma team getting to this Alabama team. However, stranger things have happened, and this Oklahoma team has been in some shootouts, won some, lost some, so it's not like they haven't been there before you.
100%. I love that actually, that because that's exactly what Alabama has done. They have been professional. They took care of Vandy. They took care of Missouri. The only difference is this Oklahoma team has pedigree behind having to prove something.
Yes.
This is not just Oklahoma is gonna, Oklahoma doesn't know how to win big games, or Oklahoma hasn't been. No. Oklahoma been here, done this. All right, has the T-shirt and the mug. But can you do it against Alabama at Alabama late in the season when Alabama starts to become this totally different thing?
The thing is, and if we want to rewind and turn back the clocks to last season, where this Oklahoma team, they were at home, I'll give them that, but they were a 5-5 middling team. They weren't playing for much. This Alabama team came in all staunch, ready to continue their march to the CFP, and Oklahoma beat them and basically killed their chances to get into the CFP. That's probably bulletin board material for Alabama. Hey, we're not going to let this happen again. Defend your turf. It's also bulletin board material for Oklahoma. If we can do it once, we can do it again.
100%. That's why, I mean, it's a big game regardless because of two ranked teams, but that's why it would have been on our sneaky watch or our watchables, if not just because of that. Oklahoma's done it. But like, this Oklahoma or Alabama team kind of has some swagger back to it that even last year's team didn't have. So, but we'll see. That's going to be a good one. We come over, same time slot, different conference. Number 21, Iowa, travels to Southern California to take on number 17, USC, 3:30, the Big Ten Network.
Can you watch that one?
No, because I don't have the Big Ten Network, because I don't want the Big Ten Network.
I don't think anybody does.
And I was about to say, no one else has the Big Ten Network.
Which is crazy, by the way. You're telling me that they can't get it's a ranked matchup. They can't get a main network?
No, that's because the Big Ten Network goes in and gets these games, and they don't let them go. So when Ohio State's there, everybody gets screwed. But is there any chance? I mean, I know Iowa can do this whole defense thing, but here's the thing. Arguably, you can say that USC's offense has been one of the most consistent in the country compared to Oregon's. I'm just saying, you're not in the rain in Eugene, or I'm sorry, in Iowa. You're going to be in Southern Cal.
So, one, I want to put this out there because I think we did this last week too. We gotta put some respect on Iowa. One, they're ranked. 2, they're 6-3. 3, let me read you their last 5 results. 18-16 loss over Oregon. All right. 41-3 win over Minnesota. 25-24 win over Penn State, the team that almost knocked off Indiana. 37-0 win over Wisconsin, and a 20-15 loss over Indiana. That's not bad
Mm-mm.
in the slightest. And
No.
so, listen, I respect USC. They've gotten some good wins, especially listen, 31-13 win over Michigan, absolutely put the whooping on them. 34-32 loss over Illinois and 34-24 loss over Notre Dame. However, this Iowa team deserves, I think, some more respect. And I think this game is going to be, again, a close one. I don't want to give the edge to Iowa, but I think this is honestly, in my opinion, a toss-up.
Okay. Now, let me work this out so I can agree with this. I did agree that Iowa should have been ranked, although we did kind of sigh it a little bit. But as you run through that schedule, it was respectable enough to be there in the top 25. They played an Oregon team last week to the absolute T, made them kick a field goal to win it. This USC team in years past has occasionally dropped a weird game against a team that can make it ugly and slow it down. All right, Drew, I'm in.
Listen, like I said, it was a toss-up. If you said Drew pick this game, I think I'd still pick USC because it's at USC. This game's at Iowa, and you tell me the same question, I'd pick Iowa.
Oh, if this was in Iowa, yeah, we'd be calling upset alert. I think the weather and the track meet that this could turn into will potentially hurt Iowa, but we'll see. We'll see. All right. We got one more, and she's a big one too. 7:30 on ABC, Texas. Newly crowned into the very bottom there of the college football playoff, but with every opportunity as anybody else in front of them, travel to take on number 5 Georgia. We're going to go full screen. Drew, can Arch Manning finally do it?
There was ever a time. I mean, the issue is, and I'm going to put this out there. This is a performance that could either shoot Arch Manning back into the national spotlight, back into Heisman candidacy, if we're being completely honest, just because they would do it. He would be number 6 next week if he has a good performance against Georgia, and you know it. However, I could fully see 100 yards, 3 interceptions, Georgia steamrolling Texas. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm saying I've seen this story before with a quarterback in his first true season going up against Georgia, and it's not pretty. Listen, I know we never really talk about Georgia too much on the show, if I'm being completely honest. Even when they were top 3, we kind of just went, yeah, it's Georgia. This Georgia team, no matter what, takes care of business. And so that's my thing here. Is even if the offense sometimes slows down, the defense never stops coming and never has a bad game. Mm-hmm. And in that case scenario, I think that's bad for Arch Manning in Texas because, listen, you can slow down that Georgia offense, but you can't win if you can't score. And Arch Manning has not proven on a week-to-week basis that he can consistently put up points.
Texas, your only chance is to tap in to whatever the hell you found for that Red River rivalry game against Oklahoma. Whatever the hell you drank before the game, whatever the hell y'all ate, whatever prayer was said, whatever workout it was, whatever pregame song it was, you need to put that right back into the game plan, and that is how you got to play, because that's the only shot in hell you have of not getting dog walked by these Bulldogs. That's it. Hey, at least you got it, kid. That's the only chance that Texas. Shut up. That's the only chance that Texas has. They have no shot in this game whatsoever if they don't bring an effort that they've literally only brought once. Because the Ohio State effort ain't going to get it done either. You're not playing Georgia to a 10-7 game. That ain't happening. Okay? You're going to lose 27-7 or 10.
No, I think that while we harp on Arch Manning and having a good performance and everything like that. The defense also has to hurt Gunnar Stockton like they hurt not hurt, but like disrupt Arch Manning like they disrupted John Mateer in that Oklahoma game, where obviously Arch was given and did his thing, but the defense controlled the game enough where Arch could do his thing. If Gunnar takes these long drives down the field and isn't feeling the pressure like Mateer did, and Arch has to come up with big throws and move the ball quickly and try to like tear apart this Georgia defense, that's when they're going to be in big trouble, because at least right now, I have not seen Arch Manning in terms of conference play do that to an opponent yet.
That's all I got. That's it. You got one chance. Because other than that, like I said, I don't have to talk about Georgia. Georgia's winning this game unless the 1% comes out of Texas. Not 20, not 1%. That's what Texas got here. First of all, Bobby Rose Jr. in the building, best kicker in the PAFL, all-star kicker for our Cuyahoga Falls Rapids. And you know what, Drew? I think the people may have forgotten. And if the people have forgotten, let me just remind you who were our PAFL All-Stars for the Cuyahoga.
What's up, Rapids fans? It's Ken Straub, your voice of the Rapids, and our first season is in the books, so now it's time to announce your 2025 PAFL All-Stars from your Cuyahoga Falls Rapids. And we start with the first team. Running back, Monte Taylor. Wide receiver, Sean Smith Jr. Defensive end, Josh Davis. Defensive back, Mari Mitchell. Defensive tackle, offensive line, Dustin Dodd. DB, Anthony Spooney. Offensive lineman, Corvez Bolware. Kicker, Bobby Rhodes Jr. And for your second team, linebacker, Mark Hale. Wide receiver, Darwin Filey. Defensive back, Sham Wright. Offensive guard, defensive tackle, Nathan Pritchard. Linebacker, Boom Lumbus. Defensive lineman, DeAndre Stevens. Honorable mention, unable to play in the game due to injury, linebacker, Mike Marshall. Congratulations to all of our Rapids All-Stars, and stay tuned because the wave is spreading.
Go ahead, Drew. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Did you get your water on that break like you were supposed to?
No.
After I was waving you down, trying to. Yeah, no, that's fine. No, don't worry about it. Hey, listen, we'll turn it on to positive. Appreciate it, Pops.
Oh, listen, this thing on fleek. All right, this thing is.
Listen, we got the big one. We got the big one over there. We got the nice cut one on this over.
Professionally groomed over here. If y'all say something about these grays that might be in there, we outside. That's all I'm gonna say. Moving on. All right, Drew.
Silver fox over there, Ken.
Ooh, yeah, baby. All right, now, Drew, let's do the only thing that I like to do more than watch college football. Let's try and make a little bread on it. It's time for Big Bros, Big Bets. And as always, we're going to start nice and simple. There is your spreads for the top 25 and my specials. My specials always include games in which neither team are ranked. So, Louisville, -2.5 favorites. Your Cincinnati Bearcats are 6.5-point favorites. Texas A&M, huge favorites, as they should be. South Florida, -10.5 over Navy. You like that one?
I don't know. Like I said, I like South Florida's offense, and at any given moment they could put up 50. However, it's Navy. This game could very well be 17-10. But
yep. Go ahead.
But I think I would take it. I think that South Florida has the offense enough.
Hey, I like that. You don't get in on the gambling, but participate a little bit. Michigan, 12.5-point favorites. My Notre Dame Fighting Irish are 11.5-point favorites over ranked Pitt. Virginia is currently a you're going to make me pull up FanDuel because I forgot. Virginia are currently +4.5. Alabama, and I'll say, Alabama -5.5. And then, yes, Utah -7.5. Georgia -5.5. And BYU. Oh, there it was. I'm sorry. Virginia are 4.5-point underdogs to Duke.
I mean, Duke has had some impressive wins this season. Virginia, the bettors are saying, are looking fraudulent after their loss. It's not completely surprising to me.
UConn -7.5 over Air Force. More on that. Kansas State, LSU -5.5. Arizona State, Marshall. Get some Marshall love in there. -7.5-point favorites. San Jose State, that is supposed to be 30. I think that's supposed to just be 3.5, not 335. But hey, you know how it goes. Wake Forest, Missouri, Washington State, San Diego State -2.5. And hey, it's been a very long time since I've been able to talk about this team because they haven't actually been worth talking about for a very, very long time. But I got to get some love out there. Fresno State. They are somewhere in the world. They play football. And I lost it. So it doesn't matter.
It's probably a night game because it's Fresno State.
That's why I was trying to scroll down as far as I possibly could. This is just riveting podcast. And I lost it. So, Fresno State, -3.5-point favorites against Wyoming. I wanted to get that one. I'm sorry.
Okay.
All right. That's not the important part. Let's get to it. It's time for Big Bros, Big Bets, our locks and our upsets of the week. We are.
I'm not on the graphic.
No, you are not, sir. Well, you're kind of on the bottom, but we'll talk about it. Our locks. I am.
That's fine.
Me, this guy over here in the clean white shirt. I am 39-27 overall on my locks. And we have 23 upsets picked through 12 weeks. Some good numbers. Let's get to these locks. Louisville, -2.5 points over Clemson. Why? Louisville revenge game. Clemson sucks. That's an easy one. Wisconsin, +29.5 versus Indiana. Drew, I know this one hurts your soul, but from what I have actually seen out of Wisconsin very recently, I can't believe that Indiana is going to beat them by 30 points.
I'm taking Indiana. That may be out of spite, and I don't care. We're taking Indiana.
Whatever.
It's the only time I will like verbally disagree with you in your bet segment is just for Wisconsin.
I know, and I kind of partially threw it in there just for that. Notre Dame versus Pitt over 53.5. I like it. I score a lot of points. And in these big games, I kind of tend to give up a lot of points too. I like a good 40-20 win that gets us right there where we need to be. Then, yeah, whatever. Oklahoma versus Alabama 45.5. That's risky, but I like it because even if it's a close game, I feel like towards when we get down into this third and that especially we get to the fourth quarter, I feel like the offenses are going to start to open up a little bit. Ole Miss -14.5 versus Florida. I'm going to keep it 100 with you here on the Straub Bros Sports Show. That is a spite pick because those jerks screwed me over last week. Florida, you blew it last week on my locks, so I'm putting you in on the reverse, which probably means you're going to blow it up again, but hey, it is what it is. And then last but not least, we talked about it, and I believe in it. The BYU revenge game, give me BYU -3.5 versus TCU. If you're really feeling froggy and you really like to play in your bet apps, I even like an alternate spread of like 6.5. I think BYU wins by 7+. So I really like this one as well. Those are your locks. Don't put them all in together, but sprinkle them in as you go. Maybe throw one in that you really like on the rest of your parlays. Our upsets of the week. And I'm sticking with these big ones, bro, because there's a couple in here I like. Boise State +118. Arizona +184 to take out your Cincinnati Bearcats. We're not hoping for that one. We want a big.
Not hoping, but not a bad one.
No, we want a big red X there. We get some love to our academies. It was Veterans Day on Tuesday. Air Force +225 against yes, and then Navy +340 against
USF.
I need this Air Force game. Hold on one second. Air Force,
Riveting
Falcons.
stuff again.
Dude, it's riveting. Oh, UConn. That's why I liked it so much. UConn and Air Force. I mean, that's a great one. If you are a degenerate. So Air Force, look for that. This UConn team's been up and down. Virginia Tech plus 460 against one of the best teams to bet on in the country. They play Florida State this week. I'm just saying. Mike Norvell is hanging on by the skin of his teeth, and there are blood on his nails trying to hang on to whatever he is hanging on to keep that job. So I kind of like that Virginia Tech game. And if you're feeling froggy and you're riding with these Gamecocks, South Carolina plus 870 to take out number 3 Texas A&M.
I like it. Can I have a question for you, and I need you to answer it?
Does it involve me pulling down my bets?
Yes.
Oh no.
Do you want me to drop the bomb now or at the end of the show? Because the bomb is going to lead to a 5 to 10 minute conversation.
Did we have some breaking news?
Yes, and it involves college football.
Let's do it.
14 men were charged for their roles in a multi-million-dollar illegal sports betting ring that involved college athletes and had links to organized crime, New Jersey authorities announced today. According to the authorities, Joseph Little Joe Perna, a member of the Lucchese crime family, and his associate allegedly.
We're gonna get our mob names right.
Sure.
Okay.
The crime family, Perna and his associates, allegedly ran a nationwide network of bookmakers who used offshore websites to facilitate approximately $2 million in bets between 2022 and 2024. The NCAA is aware of the charges and is looking into the case. A number of college athletes operated sports books at the direction of the Perna organization, and Platkin would not answer questions on what colleges or what sports were involved in the betting ring. Ken, the other shoe has dropped. I feel like every week this is happening now, where the FBI and New Jersey authorities are coming in and just wiping out these massive, massive illegal betting rings.
I mean, did you purposely want to follow Big Bro's Big Bets on college football with the well, first of all, I'm not surprised. This NIL money only goes so far, and it only goes to the top guys. So don't get me wrong. I've been a broke college athlete before. Not that I would have thrown any games, but damn, like I would have taken some money. What I got to do? Rip a shot off the crossbar? I'm not saying I would throw my entire integrity, but I remember being broke and hungry. Okay. So I'm just throw it out there. So say goodbye. Say goodbye. That's we're going to get to a point where we will no longer be able to bet on college sports. And I will be spending the rest of my eternity screaming at this camera like Tony Rizzo on 92.3, just mad because you all can't just have fun without involving the mob. We did this we did this with the basketball story. When I was reading the story and I'm like Gambino and Colombo and Lucchese, I'm like, hey, what's up? Hey, bada bing, bring me the Coca-Cola. Let's go. And now we're doing it again. Like, what are we doing?
And in just kind of putting dots together that may not be connected, very possible that either someone let it be known for a lesser sentence or was involved in both and got caught in both. And so
the mob's involved. Somebody was snitching.
But what I'm saying is I'm not surprised that it's the same area with involving the mob with this, because I'm not surprised that more is happening than just what we got told a couple weeks ago.
All right, well, this may be the last week I can do it. So I just want to just let you know again, get them in quickly before all of our gambling apps are shut down by tomorrow night. Get these in now. Maybe they'll refund you your money. Exactly. Yes,
Allegedly.
we are talking about the mob here. Allegedly. All right, I don't want nobody coming after me. Well, thanks
I
a lot.
just said they
bro.
were charged.
Thanks a lot, bro.
You're welcome.
Moving on. Actually, you know what? No, because I'm mad at you and you derailed us. It is Thursday. I'm gonna try my best. Because I have to do laundry and I don't wear dirty shirts, but I'm going to try to wear this every Thursday, our Ani's Army shirt. And if you're like, well, Ken, what is that? I got you.
Today, I want to talk to you about Ani's Army Foundation. Started by Mark and Lynn Meyer to honor their daughter Annika, Ani's Army Foundation was formed to raise money for the research of medulloblastoma tumors and other pediatric cancers, while making a positive impact on the community and helping those families in need. Here on the website, anisarmy.org, you can follow Ani's story, a story of strength and the love that her family has with her and she has with them as she fights this battle. Here on the website, if you can, please donate via Venmo, credit card, PayPal, cash, or check. Any donation is loved and any donation is appreciated. Thank you.
All right. Ken's not back with the water yet, so I'm just going to run right into it with the NFL here. It looks like that's the last segment of the time. Ken is just popping in, but I will get us started. Tonight, the ever-loved by Ken New England Patriots and Drake May take on the New York Jets in Foxborough. Ken, any chance the Jets have to beat this in fuego hot New England Patriots team?
You knew that was going to bother me.
I was letting it roll. I wasn't going to say nothing. I was waiting for you.
I will, you know what? We don't really talk about it here on the Straub Sports Show, but I'm going to invoke some old school wrestling. To quote the theme music of Vince McMahon, no chance in hell. The Jets have no chance in hell tonight. They will keep it close because it is an ugly Thursday night game. None of my parlays are going to hit that I'm about to cook in like 5 minutes when the show is over. But regardless, no, Patriots all the way. The road to the AFC or to the their division crown continues.
I tend to agree. However, Thursday night always weird, seeing weirder stuff happen. But no, I agree here. Now, I'm gonna offer this because I truly believe this Sunday 1:00 slate is hot doo-doo garbage. I would say just give me one game you're looking forward to on this slate. I think it's pretty much the same one, maybe two. The rest, I think we can just go cool.
Hot takes. Rapid fire here.
Yes.
No. Yeah, actually, they're from their big win. Yeah. Here, rapid fire real quick. Washington Dolphins don't care. Green Bay Giants don't care because Green Bay's mid. Texans and Titans don't care. Panthers and Falcons don't care.
I will say really quick, CJ Stroud officially out, so Davis Mills will play. Even more of a don't care.
Yes. Bears Vikings, excuse me, I kind of care about just a little because Chicago wins this game, and all of a sudden we're like, hey, wait a minute, you have to talk about Chicago as a potential legitimate playoff
team. I know. I think you're absolutely right. I do think Minnesota normally is the better team. However, they have looked bad in certain games, so I would not be surprised if Chicago comes in. But Chicago, if I'm being honest, hasn't had a win where I've gone, that's impressed me.
I agree. Chargers and Jaguars, nope, do not care. Oh yeah, this is the one we care about. Yes. Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Buffalo Bills. Not only a chance for Baker to have a little bit of a resurgence and kind of get back in the Buccaneers, this could be red alert time for the Bills if they go in and get beat up by a good team.
No, I think you're absolutely. I think both teams are kind of had a good start, kind of been stumbling lately. Who is going to recover and get back into playoff form while we hit the layout half of the season. Who now has to go, okay, these games are becoming must-win now to even stay afloat.
Oh,
2 good
100%.
quarterbacks, 2 good offenses, 2 defenses that can step up but aren't great. It'll be a fun one.
Oh, please, this
And
one
it might snow.
Oh, yeah, let's go. This one has to be the game on TV, period. It should have been flexed to Sunday night, Monday night, whatever, but that's all good. The the Joe Flacco game, the only team in the division he hasn't played for yet. Bengals at Steelers. There's no way, right?
Steelers have lost 2 in a row, looked really bad. Joe Flacco and the Bengals did beat them early in the season. It was a night game, and it was in Paycor, so a little bit different, but Steelers need to look better than they have the past 2 weeks to beat this Bengals team that now looking pretty good offensively. Still could give up 30 to a high school team, but could score 50 on a given night.
I agree. And I mean, the Steelers team has been shaky. This also just kind of has the making of a 28-14 Steelers victory. Hey,
Yeah.
the Steelers are back. Aaron Rodgers. San Francisco at Arizona. I do not care. Although I did want to give Ray shout out to go Joe Flacco. Absolutely, Browns Nation definitely rooting against the Steelers there.
I will say, officially, breaking news, less breaking than what I had before. Brock Purdy set to return this week.
Hey, that's good news for San Francisco. I mean, you better beat Arizona.
Held on long enough, and without Marvin Harrison too, so that they've held on long enough to now start getting healthy. Need to be a win there for them.
Absolutely. Moving on to the 4:00 slate. I cannot believe you have a 4:00 game.
Neither do I, because tickets when I checked are $9, and so the fact that we have a 4:00 game,
best
$9.
Best fans in the world. $9 tickets. Man, I might go. You know what? That's the funny part. Hold on. Time out. This is the game that I normally go to with the boys, the Browns-Ravens game. Boys, we don't normally they're 20. We got $9 tickets. We may have to cash in, bros. All right. Boys chat, get live. We may have to kick this up.
I'll look at it right now and make sure it's still 9.
Let's go. That's what I'm talking about.
Sorry. They've been upgraded to $11.
Oh, you had me at 9. I don't know about 11. Let's start with the first game. The Seahawks at Rams. Hey, we've been doing all this MVP conversation about some of these other quarterbacks. Matthew Stafford is right there. I also have a crazy stat for you.
Uh-oh.
Last week, Matthew Stafford finally moved over 500 for his career winning percentage. That poor man spent so much time in Detroit that he should go into the Hall of Fame just for that. Yes, he's got a Super Bowl, thank God, but just for having to spend this many years with the Rams, winning like 13, 14 games a year to just get above 500, we owe that man a lot.
Also, I do kind of feel bad for him because he gave his heart and soul to that city, and then now they're doing good now that he left. It's just like he wasn't the problem by far, but it's still got to sting. It's like, okay, now you put a team together now that I'm gone. Okay, cool, thanks. It's like when the Browns made the playoffs when Joe Thomas finally retired. It's like, oh, cool, thanks. Could have done that when I was there.
I mean, yeah, and they tried to bring him back too. I think he should have. But I mean, could you imagine? I don't want to do this for long, but as good as Jared Goff is, could you imagine Matthew Stafford in that offense?
Oh, just throwing to the receivers? You and that tight end? You kidding me?
And that running game?
They would have won that NFC Championship last year.
All right. This damn game. Chiefs at Broncos. I don't know what the hell I'm getting.
I don't know either.
I'm going to assume that Denver's going to try to play up and they're going to get up for this game. They're going to try to take out the Chiefs and it'll be a decent game. But dude, this could be anywhere from a 10-7 game, a 40-20 or a 40-10 game because Kansas City's stomping out Denver, or like a 37-38 shootout that Denver wins. I don't know. I do this. I watch these games. I don't know.
No, I don't know either. Everything that we've been watching is telling me 17-10 Kansas City. It's going to end up being 31-28, 100%. But we won't know until we watch this game. And unfortunately, listen, Rams game, very good. Not watching the Browns game. That'll be the game that I watch until it's 10-7 in the third quarter and I switch over to the 30-20 Seattle Rams game.
We missed this comment, but we can bring it back now that we're here at the Baltimore versus Browns game in Cleveland. $11 tickets that were $9 at some point. However, you want to bump them to $200 for a brand new stadium. Here's the only thing, though, and I'm just going to throw this out there because this absolutely happens. This is the let's peel the curtain back and let you look behind the scenes on how business works, period. There's a reason most of these teams make damn near Super Bowl runs or get very, very good when their owner is building or wants to build a new stadium. Because he knows you're not coming to watch this product if it doesn't look good. So what I am looking for, the Haslams are going to go out in the next 2 to 3 years, and they are going to spend as much money as they possibly can within that salary cap to make you a contender, because they're not getting that stadium sold out if they don't have a good product. The tilt is, if it's bad, that stadium might not get built. If it's good, season tickets are going to sell out in 2.5 minutes.
No.
Regardless of the price.
No, that's what I'm going to say is, well, one, wait, you're telling me we get this fancy new stadium, but we got to pay more for it? Of course. That was always the plan. It's an indoor stadium. It's nicer. Yeah, you're going to pay more money. You're not sitting out in November in 10 degrees. I didn't care. I was paying $10 and I'll wear everything that needs to wear. But, well, what the funny thing is, it's not in town. It's 20 minutes the other way. Anyways, my point is, you're absolutely right, because the only way that they're going to be able to charge those tickets are, one, for Taylor Swift concert tickets, or two, if there's a good product on the team that people are going to buy. They're not going to pay $200 to watch another 3-13 team. That stadium is going to be emptier than when Pitt is bad in the Steelers stadium. It's not good. And so I agree with you there. However, the people that are shocked that all of a sudden this new indoor stadium is going to cost them a shit ton more to go to are kidding themselves, because that was always the plan.
I have to be careful here, because you know how I feel about a certain selection of your Browns fans and how they dictate their life, meaning that's how the Browns need to act but yes. I don't want to do there. He's not wrong, though.
No, you're not wrong. But you're right. It shouldn't have been shocking, but it's shocking to some people. And that's the problem.
And this is what I don't like sometimes about the sports media in Cleveland. First of all, it's not good. It's not better than us. No, and it's too insulated. It's very closed off. You guys hate everyone else so much. Cleveland versus the world. It doesn't have to be like that 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. And if you think so, you're probably miserable. However, when you talk and you listen to people that cover nationally all of the teams, they talk about how awful that stadium is, how far behind it is, and it's not anywhere near caught up to the rest of these stadiums over 80% of the NFL. The rest of you 20% are all the really bad stadiums, and they're dwindling down and dwindling down and dwindling down. You can't do that. You'll get moved again. Do you really want that, Cleveland? Because you're not having a great time sustaining all of your sports facilities right now, and you're not having a great time filling all of them on a consistent basis either. Don't play around with the NFL looking at your stadium this old and going, you know what? I mean, maybe we can just don't do it. Get that new stadium in there, because it is going to bring so much more.
I will say, taking the fan part out of it, I think, Yeah, I mean, so are Guardians tickets most times, if we're being
That's true.
honest.
That's true.
But just to wrap up the point, the reason why the stadium is happening is, one, because the old stadium is so bad, it would take more money to fix it than it would to build a new one. Second, the city and the fans are okay with it because they're afraid of losing the team again. If we never lost the team in the 90s, we would be fighting tooth and nail to keep it downtown. But because we don't want to become Baltimore Ravens 2.0 and have it be Cleveland Browns 3.0, we let them do it.
Sucks. All right, back to the games. Sunday night. Oh, we got a good one.
Please be better than Monday night.
Oh, well, first of all, how about better than last Monday night and better than this
That's
Monday
what I'm
night
saying.
game? Holy
No,
crap.
hey, Monday night will put up points this week. I have no worry about that.
Yeah, that's true. But Lions at Eagles. Come on, Lions. Come on, Lions. Please walk into Philly and put an absolute beatdown on this cocky ass, mid ass team.
The issue is, and in all intents and purposes, they probably very well could. However, listen, as bad as the Eagles were last week, they've also put some beatdowns on some teams. And so I can't completely put them out of games and say this Lions team is objectively better, so they should win. This Eagles team has played really, really well in certain games. So I can't say they're going to wipe the floor with them. They should, but you never know.
Please.
Please.
All right. Monday night, Cowboys at Raiders. This wasn't a good game to schedule before the season started. It's not a good game now.
It's worse now.
Just thank goodness my defense sucks so bad. We're going to get some points. I think we'll win, but we're going to get some points.
Yeah, listen, Ken, I think you're better than your record shows. The fact that you're only a game and a half technically above this Raiders team when you have immense more talent, win this game. Just for the respect factor that you need to gain back, win this game.
Are we still in the playoff hunt? We're in that hunt graphic. Oh, I'm so done with this. Just be done.
Don't ask that question when you're 3-5-1. Because even if you are, you don't want to be.
No, I don't want to be in the hunt. Teams on a bye. New Orleans, go party. Colts, just rest up and get ready.
Super Bowl rematch on the bye week, by the way.
Ooh, Super Bowl rematch on the bye week. Wow, you reached for that one. Well, that was well done. Yep.
I know we're technically done, but we have one more story to talk about.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Brody.
And this is where I get angry. More angry than building the new Brown Stadium with the dome. The NFL has officially filed a grievance with the NFL Players Association, asking them to stop with their team grading at the end of the season. And what I mean by that, and everyone has seen it, is at the end of the season, everything comes out where they report the locker rooms, they report the facilities, they report how well the staff and treatment is, and how well they're doing in terms of recovery and training and getting back to the season. And all I have to say about that is one of the most soft and money-hungry moves I have ever seen, because one, it is a true reflection and a good factor for players to know what teams they should go to and avoid, because, hey, maybe if I have an injury history, I don't want to go to the team that has an F in recovery. But also, it shows your fans that, hey, the reason why we're not getting those free agents, even though teams are signing them to lower deals, is because our facilities suck, because our owners won't put money into it, because they just want to reap a benefit and have a profit on the teams. It's soft, it's owner driven, and I hate it.
Throw it back over to Big Bro now. We don't talk about these things very often on the Straub Bro Sports Show. We keep it very focused in on the sports. We also tap into the serious and emotional side of sports so we don't avoid big topics, but we don't go where I'm about to go right now. That's slumlord tactics. I'm not going to let people know how bad this is so they keep coming in and I keep making money. That's hot effing garbage. Period. Okay? You're doing this because teams like Arizona, teams like Cincinnati got killed last year. Rightfully so, because their owners don't care enough to actually make the facilities here where everyone else has tried to be. I had to make sure my hands were right. They just want to be in the ground level so that everything else is profit. It's disgusting. It's gross. It's bullshit. And it reminds me, and it reminds me of a slumlord tactic. I'm gonna paint over the mold so you don't see it's there. It's gross, and it's owner driven 100%. And everyone has to remember, Roger Goodell is a puppet. He works for the owners. He has no choice. They pay his salary. He answers to them. This is a 100% in retaliation that not only did those grades come out and they were open and honest, but players were vocal too. Players that played at Arizona, players that played in Cincinnati were very, very vocal. And the other thing is that Cincinnati ownership group has been around for a very long time, and that Arizona ownership group has been around for a pretty damn long time. You're not going to upset the blue bloods of the NFL. You're not going to do that, or you're going to be gone.
And I want to say this too. Obviously, LA is a very popular spot because of the weather, because of everything. The Rams consistently get A's on their report cards, and you see it reflected by the free agents signing deals there, taking pay cuts, and having a winning team because they kept their facilities up to date. They're doing it for the players, and they have a Super Bowl with it now and multiple playoff runs since they've transferred to LA from St. Louis. Crazy how that works.
And off the top of your head, I don't mean to keep picking on these two teams, but they were two of the worst. Name me the last time a top free agent went to Arizona or Cincinnati.
They always leave, and Cincinnati can't even re-sign its own players because they are in contract negotiations going into the season and may not play because the owners don't want to pay a dime more than they feel they should have. It's terrible, it's despicable, and it's just another example of this, and I hate it. I also want to just make this comment real quick. Ray, I have said forever that I don't want the stadium to happen. However, as soon as I knew it was happening, I went, yeah, of course ticket prices are going to rise because you're getting more for the stadium. That's just what it is.
The unfortunate part is you're not good enough to do that, and that's what sucks. You deserve a brand new stadium. This city, this town, or where it's going, that you guys deserve a brand new stadium to go watch your Cleveland Browns in. But you're not going to want to right now, and that's the problem. So,
especially at the price. Like, I'll pay $11 if I got nothing going on Sunday. Not paying $100 to go watch the Browns lose to the Ravens at 4:00, even if it is in a dome. I don't care. I'll go watch a concert there instead.
Owners, thumbs down, 100%.
Just across the board today, honestly.
Yeah, listen, I want it today. It's fine. All right, nice and early, nice and easy. No footy this week. International break this weekend. We gave you the table on Tuesday. All any of us are doing are just hoping all of our players come back healthy. What are our bums doing? Are we doing anything?
Yes. We play Paraguay and Uruguay on Saturday and Tuesday, I believe. So good games. Even after our coach Pochettino said he was done tinkering and giving people chances, there's new guys on the roster. I'll tune in. I'll see how we play. I'll see who stands out. I'll give a brief synopsis on the shout-outs at the end or something or other next week.
I'll be tapped out until you and the Marzinskis remind me that the game's on.
But yeah, that's truly about it, honestly. I have something else at the end, but close us out.
All right, that'll do it then. That'll do it for us here on the Straub Sports Show. We appreciate you all tapping in with us on this big Thursday preview. Shout out to Ray. Shout out to Pops. Shout out to, I'm trying to just roll through the comments. Bobby Rose Jr. Shout out to everybody who tapped in with us. Thank you always to my guy Daniel at the Falls Rapids. Big shares as always. We always appreciate those. Drew, final shout outs.
Yes, thank you everyone for watching, liking, commenting, however you support this show. And listen, we were ragging on owners all day today. I'm a shout out an owner, Dan Gilbert. And it's because I just read this. I read this snippet here. Cleveland won't allow financial restrictions to shorten contention window. They're content with the second apron. You know what? That's how you win a championship. Dan Gilbert, never been afraid to spend money, if I'm being like, especially lately, just been throwing money to hope to win a championship. Shout out to you, by the way, in a city full of Jimmy Haslams that just throw money and don't know what they're doing, to I'm forgetting his name completely. Guardians owner,
Dolan,
who won't spend any money unless someone's giving half the money in with him. You are the model on what a owner should be. Hey, let the professionals do their job. Here's the money. I don't care. Win us something. Shout out to you.
NFL owners. Straub Bruh of the week. Dan Gilbert, Straub Bro of the week. I'll bring it back.
Hey, and who's the only Cleveland sport to win a championship in the past 60 years? Crazy how that works when you spend money.
Number one, he did spend when LeBron was here. It just didn't work.
Yeah, he tried Shaq. He tried to get Iguodala.
Antoine James,
center from New York.
Yeah,
Stoudemire. Yeah. He tried to get Stoudemire. Then
yes.
The NBA wouldn't allow it. Like, he tried to bring guys here. It just didn't work. And then when he came back the second time, Kevin Love, Amon Shumpert, J.R. Smith.
I was here. I mean, but yeah, the J.R. Smith trading
money, made trades,
going and getting the Dwayne Wades, and then shipping them out in the Derrick Roses, and then shipping them out.
Mitchell.
I love this.
Yes.
This means put Garland in that damn package and get that bum out of here. Out of here. My man Rico McGee of the 216 Sports Network and the Rulers Minute had a post. Should the Cavs trade Darius Garland? My answer out there in public, yes, last year.
I got a trade package for you right here. Darius Garland, Lonzo Ball, Dean Wade, ship them out, bring in a true shooting guard, done.
You gotta give me a name.
I don't care who it is. If he's clipping over 40% from three and can play some defense, that's all I need. That's all I need.
Can I get Ja? I heard he's unhappy in Memphis. Can I get Ja?
No, because he'll go to the I'm not.
Hold on, I got it. We'll do this again from last year. How about Jimmy Butler?
No.
My man, these tables will get.
There is one ball. We need a J.R. Smith or Kyle Korver, but a little better. Who can just go here, bow, like just put it up.
A Klay Thompson,
but not now because he's Garbo right now. Listen, he's dealing with Megan Thee Stallion. He's got bigger priorities. All right, I understand. If anyone can understand, I can understand. He's got his rings. He's got his claim to fame. He's got Megan Thee Stallion now. Can't blame the man. All right, cannot blame him.
We're not doing. Nope, we're done. That's it for the Straub Sports Show. Before I get us all kind of banned, like I said, thank you for everybody who was rocking with us today. Ray, you already know. It's always love, Brody. Drew, I love you, kid. I'll talk to you in a few when we start our second half of this project. Other than that, I will see the rest of you all on Tuesday for our review of what happened this weekend. That'll do it for us here on the Straub Bro Sports Show. And please remember to, as always, to love yours.
Hey, Ken's got fire and a wild hot take. Hey, Andrew's stats make the whole place shake. Hey, laughing loud when your team goes down. Hey, Straub boys run this sports town. Show. Sundays, Mondays, we live for the fight. Hey, college game day and Thursday night. Hey, rivals fall and the banter flies. We bleed our teams till the day